guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you did not know that I am doing Vlogmas, this should be going up on day 3 or 4. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to fall into place, but today is actually Sunday. So today is in actuality December the 1st, but I'm a little bit ahead because I have been trying to be ahead just for Vlogmas so I can keep all my ducks in a row and make sure I keep up with this month. Today has been a really long day, so we went to church and I had worship practice, and then we had actual church, and then we went to go get something to eat, and then we went to my parents' house and grabbed the changing table that my dad had for Alaric so that I can paint it and get it prepared for his room. And we hung out there for a few minutes, and then Joshua had to have his haircut. We went to get his haircut, and now we are just now home. It feels like it's 10 o'clock outside, I swear, and it is like 6. So, if you can hear that banging noise outside, I am so sorry if it is bothering you. It is my husband and my children and my neighbor, who are all children, and they're playing cornhole outside, and it can get really, really loud. Okay, Killian just came inside, so we'll see how long this piece will last. But anyways, I wanted to get on here. I was saying that it's been a really long day, and it totally has. I feel like it's 10 o'clock outside, but it's really just 6. We haven't even ate dinner. It's just been crazy. I actually fell asleep in the truck. Like, that's how long of a day it is. Pregnant lady problems. But anyways, I wanted to get on here for this day of Vlogmas and kind of do a fold with me. I haven't done my fold with me Fridays in a little bit. Sometimes it just gets away from me. And so I thought I would do a fold with me just because I had a lot of clothes to fold. And I thought that I would talk about something that I feel like is kind of a struggle that a lot of us go through, but we don't like to talk about. But we either go from one extreme or another, okay? I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there are 2 sisters, and they both have YouTube channels. One is This Gathered Nest, and she has a vlogging channel with her entire family about her big family. They have 7 children. She's absolutely amazing. I absolutely love her. And she also has a separate channel, and it is her name. I know her name is Angie, but I forget if that's for sure her channel name is her full name. But her sister channel is A Joyful Chaos, so I'll link all 3 of those channels down below. But they also have a new channel that they started, and it's I'll link that below as well. But they do this thing called the Sister Show, and they do it every Monday, and I think it's so flipping awesome. I love watching them. I love watching the Sister Show. I think it's so cool. And I've really enjoyed it so far. And one of the things that they talked about on there is how there's so many negative connotations that come with like having children. We talk negatively about our children. We act like we have to have they were talking about how we have to have wine to deal with our kids. And they talked about that in one separate episode. And then in another episode, they were just talking about putting negativity on our kids in general. This child is so difficult for me to deal with. And we blast them on social media when we're really not taking into account that our children are human beings. And they're going to end up seeing that on social media. And if they saw that and knew that we were telling people these things about them, like, how would that make them feel? And I just thought that that was such a good insight and a way to, let parents be aware, because we don't necessarily realize that we're doing that to our kiddos, but it's a big problem. And I definitely think that that is relevant, and I think that it's legit. What they were saying is totally true. It really rang true with me, especially because Killian never sleeps, and I'm really dramatic talker, so I say comments and say things out loud that I really don't mean, and it's obvious that I don't really mean that. Like, this child's driving me bonkers, you're driving me crazy, whatever. And that's really not a good thing to say, because, it's like the Bible says, you speak things that you speak come into existence. Like, you speak positive or negative, like the power of your tongue, and all of the Bible verses that go along with the power of your tongue, and how much the power of what you say has over your children, over your family, over your own life. And so I think that just really rings true in the family when it comes, and my phone's going dead, so I'm gonna have to hurry. But that really rings true in the family when it comes to your kids. And I just thought that that was such an amazing thing for them to talk about. Not to down anybody or make anybody feel bad, but I just wanted to talk about something because I feel like we either go to that extreme or we go to the other extreme where we have so many expectations that we put on ourselves as mothers to feel like we're keeping up with the Joneses or keeping up with, you know, whoever, and we want to be mom of the year. So instead, we try to keep up with the lady who bakes everything from scratch and goes to all of her kids, you know, classroom parties, and is the one who, what's wrong? Ryan's complaining about his video. Yeah. And so anyway, I feel like we put all these expectations on ourselves and then we don't meet those expectations, so we try to stifle it and don't express our problems with other people and other moms to gain advice from each other and glean things from each other, and we just get really overwhelmed. And that's kind of how I have felt lately. I have felt super overwhelmed. I am 32 weeks pregnant. I'm big pregnant. I am miserable with Braxton Hicks contractions and indigestion, and my stomach is so tight that it is blood red, and it is, I mean, it's tight, you know? I carry all of my pregnant weight in my belly. Everyone at church today was laughing at me because from behind, you can't really tell I'm pregnant, but then when I turn around, it's like, whoa, there's this belly just there. And that's how I am. That's how I carry all my babies. It's very uncomfortable. The last trimester is pretty much hell on earth for me, and that's what I'm in right now. I can't breathe, and then I come inside this house, and it's my job to make this house a home and to upkeep it and to make sure that all of these things are done and that the groceries are bought and that meal planning is done and that all the planning for our household is done. And that can get very, very overwhelming. And I have to keep up with all of Tristan's school stuff and make sure his homework assignments are done and all the class parties that are happening and all of the snacks we're in charge of bringing and all of the gifts that he has to bring and this and this and this and dress up days, and I have to make sure of all of that. And then Killian's going through his own toddler stage, which is bringing all kinds of new things into our home that we're having to deal with him to make sure that, you know, he's getting what he needs. And all of these things that are on my really long to-do list, plus I want to keep up with YouTube, and I'm trying really hard to grow my Etsy shop. So by the way, if you like handmade crafts like junk journals or things like that, check out my Etsy shop down below. But anyway, I'm trying to grow all of these things, and I want to do all of these things, and I feel like I have my hands dabbling in all of these things, and it can get really overwhelming and stressful, and I'm hormonal and all of these things. So you have to find that balance between letting yourself get overwhelmed to where you don't share your frustrations or share your struggles or share your journey with other people so they can help you and encourage you and lift you up, or talking about your kid or bashing your kid and wallowing in self-pity and allowing your overwhelming feelings to turn into negative feelings and push that negativity onto your family. And I think it's so important to address that and to address the feeling of being overwhelmed, whether that's, you know, whether if you're a single dad or whether you're a mom or whether you stay at home or whether you're a working mom or whatever it is. But when you're really overwhelmed in your life and you have all of these things going on, I think it's so important to find that balance and to not allow yourself to be one extreme or the other. And so that's really what I'm working on within myself. And I'm definitely trying to work on it and hone that and own it and know my feelings and be able to say, okay, if the dishes don't get done today, it's okay because I can do this instead. I'm not going to feel overwhelmed, but I'm not going to let that overwhelming feeling take over and be negative and push that negativity onto my family and allow my kids to feel that stress that I'm feeling because they're just kids, you know? And so that's really what I'm working on today. And I just thought that, you know, when they did that podcast, when they did that YouTube video about speaking negatively over your children and how that can really hurt them, and how we don't realize we did that, I just thought that was such a good thing to kind of tie into this. And when all of this is going on with the holiday season and all of the things that you're doing, and you have so many things on your checklist, don't let yourself be overwhelmed. Take a breath. If you have to make a list like I do, that's what I have to do. I have to visibly see it so I can check it off, and every check mark I make relieves that stress. If you have to take a break and go take a hot bath or be alone for a minute or say a prayer just to kind of reel it on in, then do that, because don't let yourself be overwhelmed by all the things that are going on. It's like I was telling my husband, he was getting really stressed and overwhelmed about some things when we were shopping for the holidays and doing all this stuff and making all these plans. He's not a good planner. I am. I get excited to do that. He doesn't. It kind of stresses him out. And I haven't folded a darn thing hardly at all. But anyways, he was getting all stressed. This is supposed to be fun. All of this is magical. Our children, we will cherish these memories forever, and we won't have these moments with them forever. This is shaping the way they view the holidays for the rest of their life. They will carry these traditions with them forever. It's supposed to be fun. It is supposed to be magical. It is supposed to be restful and peaceful, and that is what we should be bringing to our children, to our family, and to any irons in the fire that we have. Anything we have going on, we should bring that positive energy, because that's what's going to make our lives full and fulfilled and successful, right? That's what's really going to give us that feeling, is if we choose to have joy in whatever we do. And so that's what I wanted to bring to you today, because that's really what I've been speaking to myself, is to just, sometimes I just have to stop. I have to go get in my prayer closet. I have to say a prayer. I have to calm it on down. I have to rein Ashley in and say, okay, there's no sense in being overwhelmed. I'm feeling overwhelmed because of this. This is the real reason why. So I'm going to take care of that, and then we can move on. So during this holiday season, and I thought this was appropriate for Vlogmas, just try not to get overwhelmed with all of the things that you have to do, all of the gifts that you have to buy in the big to-do list, the decorating of your house, and whatever else the holidays entail. Remember to enjoy these moments. Remember to enjoy the everyday moments of your life, because you're not going to get these back. And don't be the mom that's trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just be you, because that's the mom that your kids need. They need you as their mom, not anybody else. They're not their mom. You are, and you need to try to be the best you can be, but not try to be someone else. And don't let that feeling of being overwhelmed and trying to be that extreme make you the other extreme of being negative towards your family or towards your kids, or have those negative feelings about yourself that can bleed into your life. Don't let that happen. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Definitely like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. It will be definitely at least one video a day this holiday season, maybe even more than one. I have some things coming up, and so I will share those with you. And I hope that you have a great day, and I hope you're getting into the Christmas spirit.